Hello everyone and welcome back to Modded Minecraft. So we are back on the FTOG server for a little bit more of Avant 3, and it's been a couple of weeks since I've been on the server because I've been on holiday, and I know I mentioned that before I went, and there's been a couple of pack updates in the meantime, and as you can see one of them has fixed the armor thing where you couldn't see the textures of the armor, so that's absolutely fantastic. And let's just get to first person view again and get myself down here. One of the other things that's been re-added back in is Tinker's Construct. Now, I've not made these blocks. These have just sort of reappeared, I guess, from the original smeltery that I had. I'd filled in the holes, so I'm guessing that's why all of it didn't reappear. Although I don't know why the blocks around the outside didn't, but that's fine. At least there's at least some of the stuff is there, and I haven't got to remake all of it, but I don't intend to do that in this episode. There's Link has left me a little picture on the wall, or a screen, which is pretty cool. I should just leave that there. I think he's been leaving these about all over the place, so I should leave it there really. And yeah, so I've got a couple of crafting tables, and pretty glad that Tinkers is back, to be honest. As I say, I will be getting back into that, and in between this episode and the next episode I'll probably re-establish all the bits and pieces that I had before. But for this episode, what I want to do is I want to carry on with power. I think, although I probably can't quite remember right now, but I think I mentioned that I wanted to get into solar power. And that means getting into the environmental tech mod, which I've not really got that much into yet. I think I've had a look at a couple of bits and pieces, but yeah, I don't think I've really made anything from it yet. And I've collected a few of the bits and pieces together, this bunch in the middle of here. Now, the first thing that I've noticed with the solar panels is they are quite heavy on lapis, and need a bit of gold and some quartz as well. I'm going to need some sand as well because we need to make something called enriched sand. So just grab some of that from there. That was pure luck that I went into the right storage crate at first. But the very, very first thing that we need to do is there's a little item here called the digital guide, which I'm hoping is going to show us what we need to make one of the I think they're called solar arrays rather than solar panels, but we'll find out. So for this, all we need is one of the alabaster blocks, or basalt, or the hardened stone, which is the three sort of naturally occurring blocks that you get with environmental tech, and a book. Now, obviously, a book we can make again with the Tinker stuff because that's back in here now, or we can use paper and leather. And where's my crate gone? There it is. So I've got those bits and pieces together. So we just pop over there and get that made. And just pop that in there like that. Pop that there. There's our book. And that's just going to pop out. I need to change all these back into crafting stations so that doesn't keep happening. And then we'll just take one of those blocks because it doesn't matter which one. And pop that in there. And we'll grab ourselves, say, the digital guide, and let's have a look at that and see what it shows us. So yeah, it is called the solar array. And so the solar array is a multi-block generator that generates energy from the sun. Yeah, we knew that already. Any block above any of the solar cells must allow sunlight through. That makes sense. And I can't quite say that word, so I'm not. Piezo modifier allows solar panels to generate energy from vibrations caused by the rain. Let's not worry about modifiers too much. And let's just see, does it actually tell us what we need to build it? I've got a bit of a rough idea. I've had a look at some of the other guys to sort of see where they've made. Let's start that again. I've had a look at some of the other guys' bases that I know have made the solar arrays already, just to have sort of a quick sneak peek at what's required. But what I don't understand is how big it needs to be, because I know it's tiered, and each tier is a little bit bigger. Now, I think tier 1 is 3x3, tier 2 is 5x5, and tier 3 is 7x7. I think that's how it works, but I just kind of want to make absolutely sure. So let's have a look. So it actually tells us here, doesn't it? So the block list, we need 16 structure block tier 1 or above, 9 solar cells, so that's the 3x3, and then the structure tier blocks go around the outside, and then we need 4 modifier cores or any upgraded version. And let's just have a look here. What else we need? So that then goes and tells us what we need. So yeah, the tier 2 is 5x5. Then we've got the 7x7, and there's a tier 4 as well, which is 9x9. But the materials that you need for each one get sort of more difficult. Plus, you need the blocks from the previous tier, or at least one of the blocks. But anyway, enough waffling. Let's get on with this. So first of all, then, what we're going to need is, if I just go back into this environmental tech, into the first page, we are going to need a bunch of the solar cells then, in fact 9 of these, and each one of these is made up of 3 clear glass, and the clear glass is made from the enriched sand, as I said earlier. So let's just quickly sum up how we need 9. So 3 9s are 18, and that therefore means we're going to need 18 bits of enriched sand. So I might as well just work out what we need in total and go away and do it off camera. And then we're going to need 3 of these photovoltaic cells each. So that's another 18 of those. So again, quite a lot of lapis to be used in there, plus a bit more nether quartz, and then finally a bit of redstone and some iron ingots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to make myself the 9 of these that I need, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we are back, and Non-Sanity has just joined the game, so just say hello. And yeah, so we've got all the bits that we need, so let's just put this bits and pieces together. Now, obviously, I'm aware of my error from the last cut, that 3 9s are in fact not 18, they're 27. It is getting pretty late at night here, in fact it's early in the morning, so yeah, I'm prone to say stupid things at this point in time. And then a bit of iron, and we can grab our 9 solar cells. So I think the next thing we'll do then is make the structure blocks. So we'll stick with making the tier 1s for now. When we upgrade this, we'll just make the tier 2s, because they probably require tier 1s anyway. They do, so they won't be wasted. So we are going to need 16 of these in total. And each one of these is going to take a couple of bits of gold, a bit of, in fact, we're going to make the hardened stone one, because I think they'll fit in better with the scheme that we've got with the chiseled cobble. And so, yeah, so we'll need the hardened stone, some redstone, and some gold. So we need 32 bits of each of those. And I'm not sure whether I've actually got those. I've got the gold, but it doesn't look as though I've got the 32 redstone that we need, which is a bit of a pain, I've got to say. Let's have a quick look through, because it's been a while since I've looked through these chests just to see if I've got any hiding away. And I don't think that I have, because I seem to remember before I went on holiday that I was struggling for redstone back then. So getting this solar array up and running is going to help with that, because it means that we're going to have a much better source of power than sort of relying on just what our tree farm is making. So let's just see. I know that I haven't got redstone all the way across over here yet, so this possibly won't be enough. I may have to cut away again, but we'll just have a quick look and see. And I may be surprised. Yeah, you never know. So let's just pop down the sprouts again. And one of the the other mods that's been added in, I think it was the most recent update, is I think it's agricultural evolution or something along those lines, which I'm not really sure if that's another sort of thing like the sprouts or not. I haven't looked at that yet, but that is certainly something that I do want to have a look at some point. So let's just, in fact, I put some in here, didn't I? Let's just grab that out as well, so we can get the maximum that we can. And let's pop that in there, and that gets us, yeah, so there we go. We've been lucky. So all we're going to need then is to grab some of the hardened stone. We've got the gold, and hopefully, I keep using the wrong one. Hopefully that will be sufficient. And let's just shift click that in, and that's just enough. That's enough for 17, so don't want to waste any of this. So 16, and we'll grab the rest of the stuff out because I'm sure that we're going to need that for the next bit. So the actual controller we need, now this is the expensive bit, so we need one more solar cell in order to make this. I should have looked at this first, but we're going to need some more gold, a bit more than I got the lapis. It's the gold that we haven't got at the moment, and another solar cell. So I'm just going to go away again, and I'm going to harvest up a bit of gold because I know I haven't got that, and make another solar cell, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I've gone ahead, I've made the extra solar cell that we need, and now we just need to make this controller. So yeah, so 4 blocks of gold, 4 blocks of lapis, and then say the extra solar cell that we've just made. So I'm kind of hoping now that I've got enough to do that. So let's grab the 4 blocks of gold and just grab that out. Don't really want to waste any of that. And then the 4 of lapis, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll grab the extra of that out. Seem to have quite a lot of lapis, which is pretty cool. And just drop that in there. The solar cell in the middle, gold around the outside, and that is the controller done. So we've got the controller, we've got the solar cells, we've got the structure blocks. Now all we need is, remind myself really quickly, is, yeah, the modifier core. So let's just have a quick look and see what that's about. We'll find it out. Here we go, modifier core. So this is the one, if you make this, then the rain generates. Yeah, I'm not so fussed about that because we're going to store up all this energy anyway. So if it does rain, and it doesn't seem to rain very often, we've got some power stored away. So I think we'll just make the modifier cores. Now we're going to need 4 of those, and each one of those is going to require a block of iron, some normal smooth stone, and some more of this clear glass. So yeah, we're going to need another 16 of the clear glass. So luckily we've got the nether quartz for that. So let's just grab some more of the sand. Let's just make sure that we only make the 16 that we need and get that cooking like so. And if we put half of it in there, I think put half of it in there, and then we're going to need 4 blocks of iron as well. And I'm hoping that I've got enough iron, which I just have. This has been quite resource heavy. I'm sort of glad that I didn't try to do this too early on in the game, to be honest, because it would have been pretty expensive. I mean, even now, if we didn't have the agricultural expansion, then yeah, we'd be doomed, to be honest. But yeah, we've got the 4 blocks of iron. Just need to grab some smooth stone, which for some reason I thought we should have some. It would seem like something that we might have lying around somewhere, but do you know what? it's just as easy. We only need 16 pieces of it, so we'll cook that up as well. So our glass is coming along nicely. Let's just take this, pop it up here, and we need, say, 16 pieces of that. Get that going. Okay, so just going to grab the last of our stone out, and if I've had all of our stone, we've grabbed all of the glass, and we should have the bits together to go and put these final bits together for the Modifier Core. And there we go, so that's 4 of those. And now it's just a case of putting this together. Now, I am going to nip down here, and what I'm intending to do is I'm going to set this up in the building that I've got over the other side where I said I was going to do all my power generation. But because of the fact that I've got all of this sort of running into here, it's all, the wires are all under here, or the conduits, sorry. I'm going to keep this structure here, but I'm going to take the dimensional transceiver. I'm going to use those to transfer the power across, so it will keep this filled up. What I'll do is, in between episodes, I'll make a load more of these capacitor banks, so that in the sort of like the powerhouse there'll be a massive amount of energy stored. So we'll just take that for now. We'll get ourselves over there and get this set up. Now, the building isn't finished by any means yet. And can I get out this? Why does it keep... Oh, it's because I do it with the wrench. There we go. Right, let's just go out the door. Fine. Yeah, so the building isn't finished by any means yet, but yeah, it's fine. I'm just going to set it up, I think, over here on this edge. So, in order to do this then, first of all, we need the structure blocks. And I'm trying to think kind of what height that we want this, because it's going to have to come above this roof, and I've not really decided how I think the roof is going to basically be 2, then 2, then another 2. So we want this to be a little bit raised above. So we just use some cobble, and just trying to think now. So it's 1, 2, 3 is the midpoint. So if we were to say, right, we'll have a piece of cobble there. So then that'll be the midpoint there as well, 3. And we'll just put it about here. Then we can be absolutely sure that it'll be above the level required. And we want to put the 9 solar cells down. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, that'll work out fine. Like so. And then these go around the outside. You watch this not work when I've finished. Now, fingers crossed it will. This is pretty much how I think it goes. Like this. And I'm going to get rid of... Oh. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that one. We'll get rid of all of these now because we don't need them. They were only ever just placeholders. Like so. And then in the center, we want the controller. Like so. And then we want the modifier cores. And they go like this. And now that should be producing energy, but we won't know. Because I think this has got power in it already. Let's just nip over to the base again and see if I can just quickly grab how much I would need to grab another one of the capacitor banks, just so I can test that this is actually working. And we're going to need to grab some conduit as well. So capacitor bank. And if we just say we want to make a really basic one. Right, so we need some copper, some redstone, and some gold ingots. Let's just go and quickly grab, because I know that I've got a load of copper over here. Grab, that was copper, wasn't it? Yeah, a load of copper. And I think we're not going to have enough redstone. Now, hopefully, yeah, the redstone plants have all matured. So we'll grab those up. Okay, so I think that's probably going to be just enough material for what we want. So first of all, we just need to make a few more of those. I think, yeah, we need one more. There we go. And we should now be able to make the basic capacitors that we need. So that's 4 basic capacitors. Just grab that stuff out again. And now a block of redstone. That's 1 block of redstone. And I need to drop something in a chest somewhere because I haven't got room. That's fine. And just grab the redstone back out again. And then finally, we should be able to just pop this together. Good. And I just need to find my conduits. I can't remember where I put those now. I definitely put them down somewhere. I'll tell you, I am forever losing stuff. Oh, there they are. Right, so we want the energy conduit. And that's not going to be enough for now, but it'll be fine just to sort of get this tested. Okay, so we can... I'm hoping that this is compatible with Ender.io. If it's not, then we might have a problem. So let's just pop down here. And yeah, it is good. So we get some of the energy conduit, and there's not going to be quite enough, but that's fine. And then we'll put down the capacitor bank directly underneath it. Do you know what? Let's just get rid of one of these for now, just so I can put it there and test it. And excellent. So that's working, and that is filling up really quickly. So that is obviously, in fact, that's creating more power than the conduit can take, because this produces, let me see, 1152 RF per tick, and this can only handle 640. So we're actually going to need the next level of conduit anyway. So let's jump down here and just grab that piece that we just dropped. Didn't really see. That's annoying. I don't like that. So I'm going to have to make the next level up of conduit anyway. Let's just have a quick look and see if I've got the materials that we need to make that. So we might as well just try to make the top level, to be honest. And to do that, we need some more conduit binder, which is absolutely fine. And we need some of this vibrant alloy. And vibrant alloy is made by an ender pearl and energetic alloy, which I know we've made that already, which is just gold, redstone, and glowstone. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to go quickly whip some of that up, and we'll change that over for this, and then we'll get the dimensional transceivers hooked up to this as well. As I say, in between episodes, I'm not going to make the basic capacitor. I'm going to try to make the best that I can make of those, which I'm guessing is going to be the next level up for now. But we'll have a big wall of them here, so that we've got a massive amount of power. So obviously, when it's dark, although it doesn't seem to be getting dark very often anymore, the power won't run out. So yeah, I'll do that, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've gone and grabbed the other dimensional transceiver, and I've nipped into the mining age just to sort of do a bit of mining and drain out or as much power as I could from the capacitor banks. And I've also grabbed myself some of the Ender energy conduit. So what I want to do is, first of all, let's just get rid of that, and that. And then we'll pop the new energy conduit onto there, like so. And that wasn't quite what I wanted to do. Let's just pop that back on there. I'm kind of hoping that this isn't going to come all the way down to the floor, is it? But that'll be fine where it is. And then what we want to do is just grab the capacitor bank and we'll pop it just there, like so. And then finally, if we grab the transceiver, now that, first of all, that needs to say push on there. And then we should just be able to pop this on here if I can reach. I'm going to need some cobble to get up there. Oh, why is everything so difficult all the while? Right, so like that. And then we'll pop that onto the side. So then that'll start receiving the power from this. Now, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, the maximum output. No, let's change this around. Let's get rid of that. In fact, let's get back up onto our little block. It's all going wrong. Right, let's get rid of that. Can that not be? Yeah, shift click that, shift click that. Pop the dimensional transceiver directly onto that because that can take more power than. Now that should now be receiving quite a lot of power, which it is. You can see that going up. Let's just make sure that the channel is set correctly on it. So yeah, it's set to send power, and this should be set to insert, I think. That would seem to make sense. And then this one up here should be set to extract. Good. So that has now got the maximum amount of power going into it. And if we just quickly get back over to the other side and see what that's doing to our capacitor bank over here without landing on the roof, hopefully that is now filling up, which it is at quite a good speed. Now, obviously, this is restricted to 1000 RF per tip because they're only basic capacitors, but that is definitely working. Cool. So what we'll do then is, in between episodes, I want to try to make some of these actually, the vibrant capacitor banks. They don't look that difficult to make, to be fair. You can use the vibrant alloy with normal capacitor banks, or you can just make electrical steel. And these octadic capacitors, which is a bit more vibrant alloy, some glowstone, the double ones, which is just the energetic, and some coal powder. It's quite a lot of grind in there, but there's nothing in there that we can't make. And if we make a couple more of the dimensional transceivers, we'll be able to send the power directly to our builder in the mining dimension. And hopefully, I mean, that is filling up so much faster. Hopefully it'll be able to keep up with the builder. But yeah, the other thing just before I end the episode is that immersive engineering has been added to the pack. Now, I've not looked at how immersive engineering in 1.10 looks compared to how it looked in 1.7.10, but this is it. And I'm going to assume, yeah, pretty much the same stuff is in here. I really want to get into that because I've really enjoyed that in my Skyblock series. Yeah, so we've got the windmill in here as well. I'm going to assume that we've got the water wheel in here somewhere, which I mean, the power that we're making from the solar array kind of makes that a little bit, I think, a little bit redundant. But yeah, definitely will have a look at that and see if we can use that in some way. But yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. So we've got a bit of lag there. We've got a massive amount of power now that we can produce with this. And as I say, we're going to be upgrading that to the tier 4 as and when we can. So we'll work through the tiers. I won't necessarily make episodes on it, but definitely going to be doing that in the background. And I think finally we'll be able to get this situation over here with the crops, with the agriculture expansion actually sort of working properly with the farming station, because the sticking point has always been we couldn't really generate enough power to get it running properly. But yeah, so anyway, guys, if you've liked the episode, then drop us a like. And as always, until next time, take care. Bye.